to update.
And of course, the topic for today, one thing that has been like very requested. We're going to be talking today about the roadmap. I see that in total we have over 30 questions. We have around half an hour. So let's see like how many we can cover.
Let's get started.
So are you guys ready? I'm just gonna post again here the roadmap so that everyone can be aligned and to know that what exactly we're going to be speaking about. Okay, there's still a lot of people joining, but yeah, we can start. If somebody's late, don't worry, guys. We're gonna be uploading this AMA session, plus we're gonna be doing clips from there. So whatever you have missed, it's gonna be uploaded later, so everybody will be able to catch up. Okay, so let's start with the first question, with the most voted one, which actually it makes reference to the last step of the roadmap, which is about the decentralization of Enso. The first question is from Jeff. Is there a rough timeline for when you expect Enso to be fully decentralized?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think for Enso and kind of where we've got to and how we got there, we were very smart and by not fully decentralizing from the beginning, by having this sort of centralized team being able to iterate really, really fast and make decisions independently. Now, what that has resulted in over the last 4.5 years, even coming up to 5 years now, that we're able to find product market fit. If we were fully decentralized, one, the infrastructure to be able to update that would require everyone to vote, to everyone to participate. Number two, the intricacies of actually upgrading a decentralized system. If you look at Ethereum, whenever they did a merge, that was years in planning. So I think one, we've made the right decision of keeping it centralized to find that product market fit. Now, to answer your question directly, when the full decentralization will happen, definitely not this year. I can give you that for full clarity, fully not this year. The reason why is again we're phasing this release of decentralization. So, for example, we have the graphers, the action providers, the validators, and we really need to see how this works in the wild because right now Enso's acting as all of these individual parties. I would hope it would be in 2026, but really don't hold me to that. I think that can be achievable. But again, really, really, if I had a crystal ball, it'd be wonderful, right? But I don't. So we don't know how people will react once we release parts of the stack decentralized. So the graphers, action providers, we really want to make sure that individual parts work before then it going fully, fully decentralized.
That's why on the roadmap is actually on the current roadmap. That's the last thing, right? Because that's probably things going to take the most of the time. So yeah, of course, it makes total sense. So um, the next question, I think, is something. It's a question that actually got a lot of upvotes, and it's a topic I know that from time to time you like to cover about um, uh, the intent-based architecture. I know that on some of the shorts that we've shared in clips, you talk about a lot about the intents. Uh, how does Enso fits into the intents?
I mean, Enso was one of the first top three solvers of intents within whole ecosystem. Just to maybe take two steps back, what an intent is, it's an expression of you wanting something. But if there's nobody doing it, then it's just a request. It's like you posting for a job on LinkedIn Jobs and you post the same job 50,000 times in a city that only has 5 people living there. Doesn't matter how many times you post it. If there's not enough people to do the job, then ultimately you're not able to fulfill your intent request. Now, Enzo kind of transitioned away from the intents ecosystem and we position ourselves as shortcuts of blockchain. Not only are people able to request, but they're also able to fulfill that request. So we encompass everything within one network. Now, it's not that we're going and not supporting it. If you kind of, some of the names you mentioned, kind of a no man side of there, you'll see a lot of similarities, in particular in the last months of, some slogans that we've said that they're now positioning themselves. Their test net looks very, very similar as ours. The word choice, it's as if Enso's been copied, if you want to put it politely. But to give you the true representation of the intent architecture, Enso's built it. It's live. It's not a narrative. It's not something you can make believe and have to dream of magic. Enso's live as of today, and people are using it. So I would say we actually were part of the inception of that part of the small part of the industry, ran one of the largest solvers, and then positioned ourselves as the engine that is for shortcut to building on chain.
That's the major thing, that we are Enso is live, and there's no theories behind, and no like looking the thing is live. You can actually try it by yourself. Like all the community has already done it in within the speed run, so everything is just out there. It's already a working product. So that's a huge
Yeah,
progress.
I mean, the reality is we're not in 2017 anymore, right? Like we're not doing ICOs or token launches based upon white papers. If you look at Enso, what we've done is one, we have over 100 plus enterprise clients using us, generate revenue, largest companies using us. We have a clear roadmap, clear growth of company, and a clear way of decentralization itself, just decentralization, whereas others may not. But yeah, let's switch over.
So the next question is related to another major milestone of the roadmap, which is the governments. Like, what are so about the utilities of the ENSO token? So beside inside governance, what other utilities the token is going to have? Gas fees inside the network itself. If you can share some more details on that point.
Yeah, I think what we put inside of the kind of the CoinList community round, where one, individuals can now partake in the network, so you're able to participate within governance. But two, you're also able to strengthen and secure the network through your stake. So it's some degree of an economical security and also a index of where and what the network should position itself as. So to kind of make that a bit more concrete, you can delegate stake to validators. You can also stake to action providers. You can also go into graphers. And it creates this economies that layer all on top of the network itself. It's a self-sustainable economy where fees are paid converted into Enso, and it's all circular within the network itself. I would say though, it's a great question, and I think probably closer to TGE, there'll be a lot more granular information related to that. Obviously, there's certain areas on legal and whatnot that we can't put this out just yet up until the token goes live. So I hear you loud and clear. The more granular detail, the better, and it'll be shared closer to TGE.
Everyone is very eager to learn more and more details, but guys, we're very close. Very soon, you'll get all the juicy details, like with all the information. We're still within Q3, so there's going to be more and more information coming very soon. The next question is coming from Gian, one very well-known community member. And actually, this question, I kind of that was one of the first things that caught my eye as well from the roadmap. So Gian is asking, you mentioned expansion into Web2 neobanking. Does this mean Enso will launch fiat on-ramps, card integration, or is it more of a strategic partnership layer?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the banking API that is went incredibly successful in the Web2 world. So it's not Stripe. Stripe is incredibly successful. It'll come to me later. But TLDR, Web2 companies want to enter Web3, right? Now, if you've lived let's say, a traditional neobanking company, I worked in a Swiss bank before, you know that it's really, really slow. You know to build and to hire the people that will even one join the Web2 environment with the Web3 skill set in that slow environment is really, really challenging. So what you need to do is use Enso to be able to access all of crypto through this. So what this actually means is saying Enso not only wants to allow every Web3 developer and every Web3 large enterprise to build on-chain applications, but it also means in the Web2 industry, they can start accessing DeFi. So maybe just one example could be Revolut offering yield natively inside of their bank, right? Now, this is not me saying that's what's happening, nor is there anything like that. Just giving you a concrete example to say now Enso can be that bridge where people are wanting to generate yield or interact with DeFi or interact with on-chain protocols, but those companies don't have that internal expertise. And two, they want to shift some legal liability, and we can take that. So we can be that middle layer that all these banks can then connect into to then get access to on-chain and also DeFi. But it's really, really interesting that kind of merge between Web3 and Web2. I would say that kind of where we are at Enso, we're already seeing that the industry is really small. Like it's really, really, really small. And we were talking about this in the team a couple of weeks ago. Is there is going to be a pinnacle point where we go, we have everyone in Web3 using Enso. Like, what's the next big thing? And the next big thing is to give access to, the people you see walking on the street that don't even know they're using crypto under the hood, and then Enso's powering that as well.
Maybe we could call them banking shortcuts. That that could be a thing we could discuss maybe.
Potentially, right? It could even be in like a social app that want to register something on chain, and Enso's that gateway, or it could be a social app. It could even be like a banking app. It could be an investment app. If people want to interact with blockchain, they need to know one, how to do it. Three, two, they need to build it. Three, they need to audit it. So they can just use Enso for all of that. So I think once we kind of captured all of that market in Web3, which truthfully we're feeling that already, then we can kind of expand out.
I mean, that sounds like great alpha. I think we haven't discussed like this topic publicly, so there you go, guys. Now you know another big thing that's coming. Um,
I will, sorry to interrupt you, Nico. I
yeah,
will leak some alpha related to this. Um, so there might be something released in the next, I'm always careful saying dates. So I'm going to say in the next 2 months. Um, I know it's going to be sooner, but, just so no one can hold me to my words and quote me and split me and, you know,
soon.
um, soon. It's going to be soon. And you'll already start to see that happening, that connection between Web2 and Web3. It's kind of the first phase. I don't know, Nico, you've seen the product yourself. Obviously, without giving too much details, what did you think whenever you first saw it?
I mean, excited. I think it's an understatement, right? Like there are so many things that I mean, the roadmap already is like it's hinting towards most of the things that are getting ready, but. Um, it's not only because Q3 is not is the thing that the community has been repeating a lot, but everything goes like way beyond Q3, guys. I just wanna let you know that this year, next year, like as you can see from the roadmap itself, again, this is the topic of today, right? There are gonna be so many stuff that we really can't wait to share with you. But you all know that it's not that easy as it sounds. Some things require, as Connor mentioned, a lot of Lego stuff. So but as soon as we can, we'll release like any information that we would like
I'll leak.
regularly.
I'll leak
So,
a little. Whenever I listen to it, I'll leak a little bit of alpha, guys. Why not?
well, there you
Why
go.
not? Let's make it fun. Right. So there's a company, and it took them 3 years to build this product. We saw it and we rebuilt it in a month. Months. It's never been done before. One, never been able to build that fast. Two, they haven't even shipped the product. All they've done is talk about it. Um, there is a market within this industry that people have not looked at. And by the way, I really enjoy these AMAs so we can leak it indirectly to the people who actually follow Enso. Um, There's over 220 billion untapped, and we figured a way of how to tap that. That's a good alpha leak.
You heard the number. I mean, there it is. I mean, now you just have to wait like for the full announcement and blog post. Okay, so we move to the next question. Uh, okay, so there's a question from Shark the Great, another very well-known community member, which we kind of maybe covered, but maybe there's something else you would like to add on top of that. The question is, where do you envision Enso in the next 3 years? Is them to become the default UX layer of Web3?
It's a great question because the question is like it's multi-layered in the concept of there's UX, but there's also DevX, right? Like developer experience. So one, we want to be the default tool that all developers wishing to build in Web3 to use. It should be a household name. Like it should be, you go to I remember back in my day, I sound like a boomer. 9 years ago learning Ethereum. And if I could have searched Google and said, I want to build on crypto, boom, Enso's recommended by everyone organically because it actually helps them to build a product faster. It's kind of like Cursor nowadays. It's kind of like ChatGPT. You use ChatGPT instead of Google. People used to do Stack Overflow, but now you just go ChatGPT and kind of Enso encompasses all this info in one place. So developer experience, yes. Now it gets interesting on the UX layer. So this new product that we're kind of adding that's not on a roadmap because we do like to just ship more than kind of what we specify, to be honest. Um, the this will change the UX of crypto completely. Now, I think probably you've heard this from many people in terms of, oh, it's going to change UX of crypto. Oh, everyone says this, and what they do is change a button color, right? And they don't actually do anything. Um, But I can assure you this encompasses four different avenues of entering on chain, all holistically within one tool. Now, where this hopefully would get to is people seeing that, hey, you can build really quickly and easily using Enso, that they can start building these products themselves as well. So we're kind of in this part where this industry is really, really small, that we can see products that we can build in like a month and eventually, once the industry gets larger, that people will use Enso even more than the 100 plus companies using us and 2,000 plus developers. But it's like the 150 to 200,000 developers to create these ideas independently. And maybe they create a completely different UX paradigm shift. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's a excellent question. That's an excellent answer. The next question is not exactly related to the roadmap, but I think it's from someone that has that follows your X account, because I think I've read somewhere you mentioned those parts. So the question is, what's the current monthly revenue and team size? That's a very directed question to, I think, towards some of your tweets.
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure we are 19 people, but I just want to verify here. So 10 on. We're 19 people as of today. Um, Revenue, the numbers we've not shared publicly. Happy to kind of share that a bit more detailed once the token is active and kind of governance is in place and the right guardrails have been set. What I am comfortable to say is we are making more money than we're spending, which is very, very unheard of inside of crypto. Um, I believe there was a large project valued at billions that was only generating 59K in fees per year. And yeah, we're generating multiples of that per month.
That's a huge difference if you guys have followed like other the whole space as like the whole space. Like this is something that is really hard to achieve. Definitely. The next question is related to the Enso network. Are there any third-party action providers, validators, and graphers onboarded already? Like in if we're doing internal testing?
So we had the validation software running is called Temper. We had Cowstop using that in production that validated over $11 billion. We had Gelato running that. Gelato, Gnosis Pay, Yearn were using it. So the software itself has been tested. Has it been ran in an environment where multiple people are simulating the same thing at the same time? The answer is no. What has been tested already is the action providers. So what we have, if people know DeFi Llama is like a website you go to, kind of like Bloomberg Terminal. You kind of envision it that way. You go there, you get all the data for all crypto projects in one place. Now, if you're a new crypto project, your default is you got to add to DeFi Llama. Like that's distribution channel, and what that word essentially means is, hey, I add it there, and then 10, 15, 20,000 people now know about my product. Um, what people are now realizing is if you build a DeFi protocol or an on-chain protocol, you want to have it available in Enso. So you get access to over these 2,000 plus developers. And I think to date, maybe it's 125 plus enterprises or 125 plus. So that you get revenue, you get users, you get awareness, you can test your product. Because the challenge is if you launch a product, no one uses it, you don't actually know if it's kind of useful or not if you don't get people aware of your product. Um, so the answer is action providers have actually been other protocols, actually. And that's already started in a private capacity. Graphers, we are planning to hold a math competition. So I'm based in Zurich and ETH, if people know of like MIT or Stanford, all these American-based universities, ETH University is essentially European version of that. It's the top university in one of the world's actually, and we're planning to host an algorithmic competition with students, and that will give us a first testing bed for these graphers to see what information they need to be able to build these algos properly.
Wow. Uh, I mean that's how much I can say for now. Like wow, that's amazing. Um, so coming back a little bit more to the roadmap, we already spoke about the last about the decentralization of the network, but about the next the closest milestones that are there. For example, the Enso virtual machine. That's a question that we've been receiving a lot in our Discord server. It's like additionally, how is the work on the Enso virtual machine processing? Like, is there any ETA when it might be live, or any additional information you can share about it?
I am literally looking for a date right now. It was finalized on the 16th of July internally. There's a big alpha leak. So it's not public yet, but the code is finalized. So what we're doing now is starting to integrate it in all of our servers to then release it publicly. But the audit was finalized on 16th of July. So when that will go public, let's wait and see. But it's ready.
So there it is, guys. Next milestone, it's on its way. The next question, it's about the cross-chain function. Actually, people loved it. I'm gonna be honest, me myself, I as well started. I discovered like because I do a lot of bridging and so on, and I saw that actually with it like it works way better than other bridges that I've been using before that. I'm not gonna name any particular, but Outcorner, which is another very well-known community member, is asking, I really love the cross-chain feature. Will also build its own DEX-related products in the future, or is in the vision to keep powering other big players in Web3?
Yeah. So the vision of Enso is to allow people to build products over a weekend than over years in crypto. Why? Web2 has over 4.9 million, I think it's even probably 5 or 5.1 million apps. We only have around 4,800. That doesn't make sense. The reason why, because people can't build products really quickly and easily. So what we're doing is putting all of this behind one tool so people can build, right? As we are so small as an industry, We are already getting the top brands. We're already having tons of inflow and people going live continuously and continuously with Enso. And it's not just a project that has barely any followers, but we have the largest LST in the world. EtherFi is the sixth largest company in all of crypto for the amount of assets they have under management as TVL. They're the sixth largest crypto company using us. They're the largest LSD in the world using our software. And what we're seeing is these people are building completely new primitives, building and using Enso. But with that, how to build that ecosystem of people coming up with new ideas, new things. We need to ship even isolated products ourselves to show more ideas and concepts. So to give you answer a clear your question a clear answer is we build many apps to show people how to build and how they can build it really fast. We open source it, people get inspiration, then they start building themselves.
Okay, now we move to the last two questions that we have. The next one is from Ruto. He's asking about how Enso is addressing security amid raising DeFi exploits. What key audits or protections are in place or planned to safeguard users' funds?
So we've had believe over 10 audits now. We have over 10 audits in the contracts. Most projects only have one or two. Every single request also gets simulated before a response is given, ensuring that no loss of funds.
There you go, guys. Over 10. I mean, that's definitely the first time I hear that number from any project. Okay, and we're almost at the end of this AMA. This is the last question. Uh, what differentiates Enso's architecture from other projects? Are in the next 1, 2 years, what does Enso want to be known as in the blockchain world?
Yeah, so what the difference is, Enso really encompasses every different chain framework, every single app chain, every single smart contract language, and all these on-chain protocols behind one tool. No one has done this until Enso as of today. So where do we see ourselves in a couple of years? Want to have hundreds of thousands of developers building using Enso, which turns into millions and tens of millions of users that are building using those tools as well.
I mean, there it is. I mean, now you know, guys, like where are we heading, where are we at. There's a lot of new things to expect. Uh, I know that Q3 is kind of
And
the thing that we're repeating, but there's so much more to come.
yeah, I need to drop, but I know everyone's been asking about the airdrop. They've all been asking about token launch. So when the airdrop details are going to be announced, like every other project in crypto, it will be announced on the day of the token going live. That is literally how these function. Pump did not do that, so Pump is still not announced the distribution or even given it. When TG, we've already answered your question, which is Q3. Cool, guys. Thank you so much. I need to
Thank you
go.
very much for joining, Connor.
Yeah,
Have a nice day.
you too.
Hey guys, thank you very much for joining. We had a lot of people today. We tried to cover as many questions as we were able to. Of course, we gave since the topic of the AMA was the roadmap. We wanted to give priority to those. I know that a lot of you are very eager to know more about, as we talked about the token TG. Connor just shared all the information that we can share currently. But yeah, stay tuned. Very soon we'll be sharing more stuffs. And yeah, again, thank you very much for joining and see you in the next one. Take care.